Most people think muscles are only for lifting weights, looking fit, or becoming stronger. But muscle is doing something much more important. It helps you move, balance, use energy, manage blood sugar, protect your joints, and remain independent as you age. Muscle is not decoration. It is infrastructure. Ask a simple question. Why does the human body carry so much muscle tissue? If muscle existed only for appearance, nature would not spend so much energy maintaining it. The answer is that muscle is useful every hour of the day, even when you are not standing in a gym. Think of your muscles as engines distributed throughout your body. Your legs, back, chest, arms, and core are not separate accessories. They are part of one system. Each time they contract, they consume energy, stabilize the skeleton, and send the body a message: this tissue is still needed. The body is efficient. It does not like maintaining expensive equipment that is rarely used. When muscles are challenged regularly, the body has a reason to preserve them. When the muscles remain inactive for long periods, the body receives a different message. Perhaps this tissue is no longer essential. Sitting is not automatically harmful. Rest is necessary. The problem begins when stillness becomes a default setting of the entire day. You sit for work, sit during travel, sit while eating, sit while watching screens, and then wonder why the body gradually becomes weaker. Exercise is not only about burning calories. It is communication. Walking tells the legs to stay useful. Carrying tells the arms and core to remain capable. Resistance training tells the muscles to adapt. The body listens to repeated actions more carefully than it listens to good intentions. When you eat carbohydrates, the body breaks many of them down into glucose. That glucose enters the bloodstream and needs somewhere to go. Some is used immediately. Some is stored. Your muscle provides an important destination because active muscle tissue can use glucose as fuel. Imagine that glucose is delivered in trucks. Your bloodstream is the road. Your muscles are one of the largest warehouses. When the warehouses are active and regularly used, deliveries are easier to manage. When the warehouses stay closed, traffic can become more difficult to organize. Insulin helps glucose move from the blood into cells. It works like a key that opens a door, but movement adds another pathway. When muscles contract, they can increase their demand for glucose. This is one reason physical activity matters beyond weight loss. A short walk after a meal may appear too simple to matter, but simplicity does not mean weakness. When you walk, the muscles begin working. Working muscles require fuel. Instead of remaining seated immediately after eating, you give some of that circulating energy a useful destination. You do not need to become a bodybuilder. You do not need enormous muscles. You need useful muscles. Muscles that can help you climb stairs, carry groceries, stand from a chair, lift a child, protect your back, and recover from the ordinary demands of life. Strength is not only the number written on a gym machine. Strength is the ability to participate in your own life. It is the difference between carrying a bag independently and needing assistance. It is the difference between moving confidently and avoiding tasks because the body feels fragile. People often say, I am weaker because I am getting older, but aging is not a single switch. Some changes are difficult to avoid. Others are influenced by behavior. When activity steadily disappears from your routine, weakness can accelerate because the body is adapting to less demand. Muscle is like a reserve tank. You may not notice the value of reserve strength during an easy day, but the reserve becomes important when you become sick, recover from an injury, carry something heavy, lose balance, or face a physical challenge you did not expect. Balance is not controlled by one magical organ. The eyes, inner ear, brain, nerves, joints, and muscles work together. When the leg and core muscles become weaker, recovering from a small stumble can become harder. Strength helps the body correct mistakes before a fall occurs. Muscles pull on bones whenever you move against resistance. That mechanical stress is useful. It tells the body that the skeleton must remain capable of carrying load. Bones are not lifeless sticks. They respond to the demands placed upon them. Try a simple thought experiment. Imagine standing up from a chair without using your hands. Your legs generate force. Your core stabilizes you. Your balance system keeps you upright. This ordinary movement is a quiet demonstration of strength, coordination, and independence working together. Now think about your hands. Opening a jar, carrying a bag, holding a railing, and moving objects all require grip. Grip is not the whole story of health, but it illustrates a larger point. Strength reveals whether the body can still translate intention into action. Walking, cycling, swimming, and other aerobic activities matter. Strength training does not replace them. The human body benefits from both endurance and strength. One supports the ability to keep moving. The other supports the ability to produce force when movement becomes demanding. Imagine a car with excellent fuel efficiency but weak brakes and a fragile frame. It would still be incomplete. Health works the same way. Endurance matters. Strength matters. Balance matters. Mobility matters. The goal is not to win one category. The goal is to build a capable system. A gym can be helpful, but it is not compulsory. Resistance can come from dumbbells, resistance bands, machines, body weight, stairs, loaded bags, or carefully selected household movements. The important question is not where you train. The important question is whether the muscles receive a reason to adapt. A beginner does not need a complicated workout. Start with movements the body understands. Sit down and stand up, push, pull, carry. Hinge at the hips, step upward and brace the core. Use a manageable level of resistance and focus on control movement. The body adapts when the challenge increases carefully over time. Too little challenge produces little reason to improve. Too much challenge can increase the risk of injury. Good training lives between those extremes. Difficult enough to matter, controlled enough to repeat. The goal is not to impress the room. The goal is to train the body. A slower, controlled repetition can teach more than a rushed movement with excessive weight. Good form is not merely about appearance. It helps place the challenge where it belongs. Muscle does not become stronger during the exercise itself. Exercise is the signal. Recovery is when the body responds. Sleep, nutrition, hydration, and rest matter because adaptation requires resources. Training harder while recovering poorly is like demanding construction without providing materials. Protein provides amino acids that the body uses as building blocks. But protein alone does not create strength. Eating protein without using your muscles is like delivering bricks to an empty construction site. The body still needs a reason to build. The internet often sells strength as a product. Powders, pills, gadgets, and shortcuts compete for attention. Some tools may be useful in specific situations, but the foundation remains remarkably ordinary. Consistent resistance training, adequate nutrition, sufficient sleep, and time. When people focus only on losing weight, they may forget an important question. What kind of weight is changing? Health is not merely about becoming lighter. Preserving useful muscle matters because the goal is not to occupy less space. The goal is to build a stronger body. A scale measures total body weight. It does not measure how confidently you climb stairs. It does not measure whether you can carry groceries. It does not measure your balance, posture, endurance, or ability to recover from effort. One number cannot explain the whole system. One intense workout cannot completely compensate for an entire week of inactivity. The body responds to patterns. Train regularly, walk frequently, take movement breaks, use the stairs when practical, and carry ordinary things. Health is built from repeated signals, not occasional punishment. You do not need to wait for a perfect hour. A few squats near a chair, a short walk, a set of wall push-ups, or a brief resistance band routine can interrupt long periods of stillness. Small actions are not meaningless when they become part of the day. Do not train only for the mirror. Train for the future. Train so that you can lift a suitcase, rise from the floor, climb stairs, maintain balance, move furniture, travel comfortably, and participate in life without constantly negotiating with your own body. Some people avoid strength training because they fear injury. That concern should not be dismissed. But permanent avoidance also carries a cost. Begin conservatively. Learn technique. Adapt exercises to your ability. Seek professional guidance when needed. Safety is not the same as inactivity. For many adults, 2 well-planned strength sessions each week can provide a realistic starting point. Train the major muscle groups. Keep the movements controlled. Add walking and other aerobic activity during the week. The goal is not exhaustion. The goal is consistency. Your body is always asking a quiet question. Do I still need the strength? Every walk, squat, push-pull, step, and carry helps answer that question. Your muscles do not require motivational speeches. They require repeated evidence. Try a simple experiment for 1 week. Walk after one meal. Stand up more often during the day. Complete 2 short full body resistance sessions. Carry something manageable. Use the stairs when practical. Observe your energy, confidence, sleep, and movement quality. Exercise should challenge the body, but warning signs matter. Seek medical advice when you experience chest pain, fainting, unusual shortness of breath, severe pain, or symptoms that concern you. People with medical conditions, injuries, or major mobility limitations may need individualized guidance. Here is a Feynman test. Can you explain muscle health in one sentence? Try this. Muscles stay useful when you give them a reason to work. That is the central lesson. You do not need a complicated theory before taking your first practical step. Strength training is a quiet investment. You may begin because you want more energy or better movement, but over time, the benefits reach further. Stronger muscles help support everyday function, balance, confidence, and the ability to remain active. Your muscles are not only for the gym. They are part of the machinery that carries you through life. Use them. Challenge them carefully. Feed them properly. Allow them to recover. Because the goal is not simply to live longer. The goal is to remain capable while you are living.